How to create a universe. Imagine for a moment that you stand on the brink of nothingness. There is no space, no time, no matter, no energy, just an endless void, pregnant with possibility. And in this moment of cosmic silence, you hold the power to create a universe. But how does one begin such an undertaking? What is the blueprint for existence, the spark that ignites creation? To create a universe is not merely to assemble a collection of atoms or stars. It is to give birth to reality itself. It is to breathe life into the vast emptiness, shaping the rules that will govern everything from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy. This thought experiment invites us to contemplate the ultimate act of creation. While it is beyond the capacity of human beings to truly create a universe, the question forces us to consider the nature of existence, the origins of everything, and the forces that shape our reality. How does a universe come to be? What elements are necessary to transform nothing into something? In this philosophical journey, we will explore the steps both imagined and real that might lead to the birth of a universe. And as we move through the stages of creation, we will uncover deeper questions about the meaning of existence, the role of consciousness, and whether the universe itself is an act of intention or an accident of cosmic forces. Step 1. Defining the laws of reality. Before you can create a universe, you must establish the fundamental laws that will govern its existence. These laws are the framework that will shape everything that follows the rules by which reality itself will operate. In our universe, these are the laws of physics, which dictate how matter and energy behave, how space and time are structured, and how forces like gravity and electromagnetism interact. But why should the laws of your universe resemble ours? As the creator, you have the freedom to define reality as you see fit. Will you create a universe where time flows backward, where light travels faster than in our world, or where particles can exist in multiple places at once? Or will your universe be one of perfect symmetry, where every action has an equal and opposite reaction, and nothing can ever change? In contemplating these questions, you begin to realize that the laws of reality are not just arbitrary rules, they shape the very nature of existence. The laws of physics are a hidden hand that sculpts the universe, determining whether stars will form, whether life will emerge, and whether consciousness will arise to ponder the very act of creation. In this way, the first step in creating a universe is not merely to define its rules, but to consider the consequences of those rules. The slightest change in the fundamental constants of nature could lead to a universe devoid of complexity, where no stars, planets, or life could form. Conversely, a universe with just the right balance might give rise to untold wonders, filled with galaxies, nebulae, and beings capable of love and thought. Step 2. The birth of time and space. Once the laws of reality are in place, the next task is to bring into being the very fabric of the universe, space and time. In our universe, space and time are inextricably linked, forming a four-dimensional continuum known as space-time. But what is space? What is time? Are they simply the stage on which the drama of the universe unfolds, or are they active participants in the cosmic story? To create space is to create the arena in which matter and energy will exist. It is to stretch the void, to make room for the particles, planets, and galaxies that will one day populate your universe. But space is not an empty container. It can bend, twist, and expand. In fact, in our universe, space itself is dynamic, expanding outward since the moment of the Big Bang, carrying galaxies with it as it grows. So in your universe, will space be static or fluid? Will it stretch infinitely, or will it loop back on itself like a cosmic Mobius strip? And what of time? Time is perhaps the most elusive and mysterious aspect of existence. It flows ever forward in our universe, dragging us along in its current. But does it have to? In your universe, time could behave differently. It could move in cycles, repeating endlessly, or it could stop altogether, freezing the universe in a timeless moment. Yet, the birth of time is more than just the ticking of a cosmic clock. Time is what allows for change, for growth, for the unfolding of events. Without time, nothing can happen. No stars can form. No life can evolve. No thoughts can arise. In this sense, time is the heartbeat of the universe, the pulse that drives existence forward. Step 3. The spark of creation. Now that the stage is set, the real act of creation begins. To create a universe, you need to spark a moment of creation, a singularity from which everything else will emerge. In our universe, this moment is known as the Big Bang, a cataclysmic explosion that marked the birth of time, space, and matter. But what is the nature of this spark? Is it a random fluctuation in the void, a burst of energy from some unknown source? Or is it the result of an intentional act, a deliberate choice to bring something into existence from nothing? This question touches on the deepest mysteries of creation. Is the universe the product of chance or design? In contemplating the origin of the universe, we are forced to confront the idea of causality. In our experience, every event has a cause, something that precedes it and brings it into being. But what caused the universe? Can there be a cause for the very beginning of everything? Or is the universe self-causing, a spontaneous event that requires no explanation? This philosophical conundrum echoes through the ages, with thinkers from Aristotle to Stephen Hawking grappling with the idea of the first cause. Some argue that the universe must have a creator, an unmoved mover that set everything into motion. Others suggest that the universe could have arisen from quantum fluctuations, with no need for a creator at all. But as you stand at the precipice of creation, you hold the answer in your hands. You are the spark, the source of all that is to come. And in that moment of creation, you unleash a universe, a burst of light, energy, and potential that will one day give rise to stars, planets, and perhaps even life. Step 4. The dance of matter and energy. With the spark of creation ignited, the next step is to shape the matter and energy that will form the building blocks of your universe. In our universe, matter and energy are two sides of the same coin, interchangeable through Einstein's famous equation m2m2m2m2. The early universe was a seething soup of particles, photons, and radiation, gradually cooling and coalescing into atoms, molecules, and eventually stars and galaxies. But what kind of matter will your universe contain? Will it follow the familiar patterns of protons, neutrons, and electrons? Or will you create entirely new particles, governed by different forces? And what role will energy play in shaping the cosmos? In our universe, energy drives the expansion of space, powers the stars, and fuels the processes that sustain life. But in your universe, energy could take on different forms, perhaps creating exotic states of matter or even dimensions beyond our comprehension. As the matter and energy in your universe begin to interact, they will form the structures that give shape to the cosmos. Gravity, a force that pulls objects together, will play a crucial role in bringing particles together to form stars and galaxies. But may gravity behave as it does in our universe, or will you design it to follow different rules? Perhaps in your universe, gravity will be stronger or weaker, or it might work in ways that allow for entirely new forms of cosmic architecture. Step 5. The emergence of life and consciousness. As the universe evolves, matter and energy give rise to increasingly complex structures. Stars burn, planets form, and somewhere in the vast expanse, conditions may arise that allow for the emergence of life. In our universe, life is a rare and precious phenomenon, dependent on a delicate balance of factors, temperature, chemistry, and time. But in your universe, life could take on entirely new forms, shaped by the unique conditions you have created. Yet, the emergence of life brings with it new questions. What is the purpose of life? Why should the universe give rise to beings capable of thought, emotion, and creativity? In creating a universe, you are not merely assembling particles, you are creating the potential for consciousness. For beings who will one day look up at the stars and ask the same question you are asking now, why am I here? The emergence of consciousness is perhaps the most profound mystery of all. How does a universe of matter and energy give rise to subjective experience, to beings capable of reflecting on their own existence? Is consciousness an inevitable product of complexity, or is it something more a fundamental aspect of the universe, woven into its very fabric from the beginning? The final riddle. Why create a universe as you step back to observe the universe you have created? A final question arises. Why? Why create a universe at all? Is it for the joy of creation, the thrill of watching stars form and life evolve? Is it out of a desire to understand the nature of existence, to see what will emerge from the chaos of creation? Or is the act of creation itself a reflection of something deeper, a need to impose order on the void, to give meaning to the emptiness? In asking these questions, we are reminded that the act of creation is not just a scientific or philosophical exercise, it is an existential one. To create a universe is to confront the very nature of existence, to grapple with the fundamental mysteries of being. And in doing so, we come closer to understanding not just the universe, but ourselves. Perhaps, in the end, the act of creating a universe is not about answering the question of why we exist, but about embracing the mystery of existence itself. For in the act of creation, we discover that the universe is not just a place, it is a story, a journey, and a riddle, all unfolding in the vast expanse of space and time. And like any good story, it leaves us with more questions than answers, inviting us to continue exploring, questioning, and creating both in the cosmos and within ourselves.